And we are live from Willard, Missouri at Willard High School. It's the Willard Basketball Classic. It's the Eagles taking on the Liberators in the season opener. And last year, the Eagles had a historical season, fell short in the district championship game, and tallied their only loss on the year. And I'm Brady Reton alongside my partner, Ryan Swanson. Ryan, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Basketball's back. I'm excited. It's been a long time. I mean, I knew I had a ton of fun with football, but, I mean, secretly in the back of my mind, I'm like, I just can't wait for basketball to start, and now it finally is. I'm excited.
Feels good to put the headset back on, of course. But the Eagles coming into this game see kind of a new look as they lose, a 4-year letterman and one of the best players in the area, Cale Combs. Just like describing how he made an impact on this team, it's kind of hard because it was just huge.
I mean, he could do everything on the floor whenever you needed him to. There are nights where he'd put up 30 in a game, and then other nights where he put up 10 real quick and then just be the man who passes for the rest of the game, played great defense. He was as you would say, Brady, a 5-tool player because you play baseball. But, I mean, he was an all-around player. He could do everything on the court and averaged 23 points a game. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. He was a tremendous athlete, could jump through the roof, and he's doing great things over at Wyoming now. But it's going to be definitely interesting to see how this Eagles team is going to have to adjust, especially with him leaving. But you got 3 great seniors that are going to be leading through this starting 5. One of them will not be playing through the first half. That'd be Devin Kemp. I talked to him earlier today. He doesn't have enough practices to play the whole game, so he won't be coming in until the first half, or until the second half. But that might affect him a bit.
That's going to open up opportunity for one of the younger guys. And speaking of younger guys, there's quite a few on this team who are exceptional basketball players. When you look at this Eagles roster, you only see 3 or 4 seniors out there. You have Josh Peters, Garrett Hines, Devin Kemp, and then Kevon Lewis. This team's young, and not really any of them seen varsity experience except for Jackson Cantwell, who's the youngest. Actually, not the youngest, where his freshman Adam McKnight dressed out. But he's really the only one to see varsity experience. This Eagles team is still going to be deep. Mm-hmm. You have Kevon Flint, Wyatt Vincent, Randy Flint, Lane Meltebarger, Bryce Foster, Adam McKnight, and, of course, Jackson Cantwell to go along with the 4 seniors. Coach Blansett said he sees all 11 guys playing in the night.
Yeah, and I would not be surprised if all 11 of them did play. Like you said, there was a lot of depth on this team. But one thing that's going to be very different from last year's team, not a lot of experience just because of how many seniors we graduated last year. I think it was 7 or 8, if I remember correctly, if my memory serves me right. But only 4 on this team this year. Those 4 are going to have to be relied on because only those 4 and Cantwell played varsity time. I mean, some of these guys got a couple minutes, but those were in blowouts where they got a minute or 2. Only 4 of these guys have started in varsity games, so they're going to have to be relied on for the experience and prepare for some bumps on the road to start early with some of the younger guys. That's normally what happens. Maybe an errant turnover here or there, a pass that just goes a little bit over a guy's head, a missed layup here or there. It's going to happen. They're new kids that haven't been playing at varsity level at all, so expect those bumps on the road, but these are what these early tournaments are for, is to get those out of the way before the big games later down the road.
Yeah, and of course, we talk about the young team. They're going to be a great shooting team. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're going to be one of the best shooting teams in the area. Of course, you had last year Devin Kemp shooting 35% beyond the arc, but 2 numbers what stand out is going to be 48%. I guess that's one number. I didn't realize they had the same 3-point percentage, but 48% coming from the senior duo in Hines and Peters. Mm-hmm. And like we said at one point, we thought Peters was going to break the 3-point record.
And I think that I'm hoping that's in the back of his mind because he definitely would have broken it on the pace that he was on last year. Tweaked his knee in the Liberty North tournament and unfortunately wasn't able to pick up that pace again. But this whole game for him is about getting off to a hot start fast. If he wants that, you need to start off hot. And this team, like you said, is going to be an elite 3-point shooting game. I mean, I've never seen Kevon shooting game for a long period of time. So I don't know Kevon's 3-point shooting range. Kevon Lewis, not Flint. But
I have to say, we haven't seen Kevon Lewis play basketball in a while.
Yeah, and other than him and Jackson Cantwell, with Lewis being a little bit of a question mark, every guy on this team that's starting for varsity and dressing can shoot the 3 ball when they get the chance to, especially guys like Josh, Garrett, and Devin, who can great catch and shoot ability, especially Josh. showed that all of last season. I'm excited to watch this team play. They're going to be fast. They're going to be able to knock the three ball down quick. They're going to score a lot of points, and they're going to be fun to watch.
You're acting like we haven't seen Cantwell pull up from the volleyball line before in practices and drill it, but I mean, it's fun to watch.
It is fun.
The Liberators now coming off a 17-10 season. That season ended in a very odd way as they fell to Branson, who was 6-22. And it was definitely an odd way for this Bolivar team to end their season, saying they played Nixa, a 75-71 game in the championship last year. Mm-hmm. Kyle Pokum, I don't know how to describe, great basketball player.
When him and Kale went against each other in that game, it was a marquee matchup. Everyone was in the building to watch those two play, and both of these teams have star players leaving, seniors who are off doing their things in college, and teams that kind of question marks on how they're going to look with those big players departing their programs. It's going to be interesting for sure, but I'm excited, and with that loss against Branson in the first round of the playoffs, I mean, any team can be beaten on any given night if something goes right. So, I mean, anyone can be beaten. It just happened to be a bad night for the Liberators. Fell to the Branson Pirates, but they're a much better team than what they showed that night, and they're going to be a good team this year.
And we got the chance to talk to Coach Hogue before the game, and he said that, losing Kyle is a big piece, but you got to think about the other 4 starters who were seniors on this court who played a big impact on the team. They didn't get talked about a lot because you had such a star player, but he's like, without them, we wouldn't have had the season we had. I mean, we had a great season up and down. They went to the semifinal, who fell to the Cinderella Sparta in the blue and gold tournament. But he's like, without them, we wouldn't have had the season we had. And losing them is playing just as big of an impact as losing Kyle.
Yeah, and both of these teams also, with losing their star players, lost key seniors that really were just overshadowed by that star player. For Nixa, it was guys like Carson Seitz, like Corey Kemp, like Noah Engelman.
Yeah, especially Noah Engelman.
Especially Noah Engelman. He was a coach's favorite player. And Carson Seitz, he might not have started, but off the bench, he was a great three-point threat and got a bunch of points. There was one, I think he had up to 20 points, all from three-point land. So,
I mean, you asked Coach Blanchard about Carson Seitz. He said he's a kid. You look at him on the bench, and you're like, he's going to go hit a three. He'd go in the game, and he'd be sitting wide open in that corner, and that would be a mistake, and he would drill a three-pointer.
Even if he wasn't wide open, he's still drilling over a guy's head. A great three-point shooter, also out in college right now, but I'm really excited to see how this Eagles team is going to play. I've missed basketball season, to say the least.
So we're going to take a look here at the bracket for this week. Starting off tonight, the first game in the boys' bracket is going to be Nixa versus Bolivar, of course. And then tomorrow night, you have one of the most hyped teams in the area in Glendale taking on Harrison. That's Thursday. Coming back later tonight at 8:30, Willard versus Smith Cotton. And then Thursday, you have Belton taking on Bentonville. So we're going to go through and give you guys our predictions for this week. And we're going to skip Nixa, save them for last. So we're going to go Glendale, Harrison. I have Glendale coming out on top.
I also have Glendale coming out on top. This team is going to be really good, and I'm excited to hopefully see them and Nixa play in a semifinal game, but I got Glendale winning in that one.
I was scrolling through Twitter the other day, and I saw a Glendale team playing, and I'm like, they're out there dunking and knocking down threes, and Big Toe posted it, and then I look again, and it says Glendale JV highlights, and I'm like, wow. They have a young group of players who are exciting to watch. Mm-hmm. Now, Willard and Smith Cotton, I don't really know much about Smith Cotton. I know Willard lost one of their best scorers in Riley Wolf. He's at SEMO Prep, but I'm going to have to go Willard on this one.
I'm also going to have to go Willard. Once their home tournament, they're going to come out firing. I got Willard.
And then the last one, Belton versus Bentonville. Give me Bentonville on top.
Me too.
We're going to send it down to the PA announcer for starting lineups. We'll be back after this short break, brought to you by Central Gas and Propane.
A sophomore wearing number 3, Randy Flint. A sophomore wearing number 4, Jackson Cantwell. A freshman wearing number 21, senior wearing number 30, Josh Peters. Eagles are led by head coach Brock Lansing and assistants Andrew Boyd, Scott Miller, and Stanley Jayhawk. Now the starting lineup for the Bolivar Liberators. A senior wearing number 2, Ethan Graves. A senior wearing number 3, Trent Packey. A senior wearing number 4, Damian Young. A junior wearing number 5, Gardner Casey. And a senior wearing number 20, Drake Durham. The Liberators led by head coach Robbie Hoy and assistants Joyce Bryan, Matt Ritter, and Kyle Cavanaugh.
And Eagles fans, it's the time we've all been waiting for, game time. Starting for the Eagles, you're going to see sophomore Randy Flint, sophomore Jackson Cantwell, freshman Adam McKnight, senior Garrett Hines, and seniors Josh Peters.
I forget how quiet these neutral tournament games are.
We're going to see Durham and Cantwell jumping, and I don't know why Durham would even jump.
Yeah, I would have just walked away and lived to fight another day on that one.
Here's Flint, gets it to Peters, back to Flint, now Hines. Cutting through the lane, and rim stuff there was Peters, and that would have been an electric way to start the season off if they would have converted.
He hit that big alley-oop. I think it was in the NIT last year. I know he has the hops to do. I was really hoping he was going to knock that down.
And here's Casey. Back up Durham. Durham cutting back door is Young for 2.
Great cut back door. I mean, there's no one else on that side besides his defender. One step cut in the lane. Great cut and a great pass to set that up.
Flint a little hesitant. Gets to McKnight, top of the key. He hesitates. Three-pointer will fall. And McKnight sees his first high school points.
One thing you want to do with this team is you cannot let them get time to set their feet and get a chance on the three-point line. You got to make them pull it as quick as they can or get up in their face fast.
Durham now left open for 3, no good. It's Padkey. Pushing up court, here's McKnight, dishes it out, finds Peters wide open, and Peters knocks down the three-pointer.
One thing we were talking to Liberators coach was they said that they don't want to take their chance on three balls that much for the long rebounds and transition offense opportunities. And that's exactly what happened right there. Josh Peters, wide open look, and buried it.
Here's Young hopping through the lane. Shots blocked by Peters. It'll stay with the Liberators.
And Josh really came into his own on the defensive side of the ball during the district tournament. Didn't see much of an offensive role during that tournament, but did a great job on defense and really came into his own, finding a defensive personality.
And the little oop play won't work, but foul's going to be called there on McKnight. So I really don't know if there was a push as Durham kind of shoved off. But shot was blocked. It will send Durham to the line to shoot 2, and we're going to see Peters and Hines go into the corner. First free throw will fall.
You know, these quiet games are going to be a real struggle at 8:30 later in the year.
Yeah, you know, it's just this game right now, I feel like, because it's the 5:30 first game of the season, you know. Tournament play, first round.
Well, Willard's after this. I'm expecting more people to show up as the game goes on, as the Willard fans are going to come in and see the end of this one.
Here's McKnight, looks in the corner. Hines for 3. No good. Rebound. Cantwell off the glass, and it's good.
I mean, what do you do at that point?
The
6'8" Jackson
6'8"
Cantwell.
5-star puts it right back off the glass. And here's Young, hands it off Padkey. Graves looking for Durham. Pass tipped one more time. Gets it to Casey. Little floater will fall.
Smart play, not wanting to go straight to the chest of Jackson Cantwell. The floater goes in.
Now Flint gets fouled driving through the lane. Foul's handed to Damian Young, the senior guard for the Liberators. And there is some new rules we'll talk over when the time comes on the bonus. And that's going to be a travel as one too many steps coming from Peters.
And that's something that's going to happen later. That won't happen later in the year. That is right there a first game of the season mistake. They're going to happen, and that was just an example of it right there.
Padkey hands it off Young. Cross-court pass. There's Durham. Kicks it back out one more time. Casey's three-pointer, no good. Rebound Cantwell. Gets it to McKnight in the corner. He finds Peters wide open for three. No good. Cantwell tips it out, finds Flint wide open. Back up and way over the head of Jackson Cantwell.
I saw him throw it up, and that would have been so funny if Jackson Cantwell threw down an oop. That would be a way to start the first couple minutes of this game.
Here's Young to bring it up.
It's also impressive how he overthrew the 6'8".
That's what I was
sophomore.
thinking more. He's a pretty big target, hard to miss. Durham, one more time for three. Graves, no good off the back iron. He gets his own rebound, driving baseline. Durham passes tip there. There's Padkey looking inside, taken away there by Flint. Flint going coast to coast, no good, and McKnight almost throws it down.
Both of these
Can't get it to fall, but McKnight almost started his high school career off with a bang.
almost had a highlight reel play right there. And both of these underclassmen, Flint and I'm blanking out here. You just said his name.
Adam
McKnight. I don't know why I blanked out on that one. But both Flint and McKnight can jump through the roof. They're definitely going to make a highlight play or two through the season.
And coming out is Randy Flint and Jackson Cantwell. And entering the game will be two juniors in Kevon Flint and Lane Meltebarger. McKnight's second free throw will not go. Rebound Durham. The Eagles are bringing out the press here. Young breaks it. Looking in the corner, Padkey. Back out, Graves for three, no good. Knight picks up his dribble, finds Flint, and Flint's moving fast up court. Loses control of his dribble there, taken away by Young. Young looks up court, finds Durham, he looks for the Euro step, but he is picked. And they'll stay with the Liberators.
Good chance in the transition right there, but if you saw on the left side of the court, two guys right next to each other in transition, easy for one guy to guard you, no space. He just had to put something up. With the Euro, lucky ball went out of bounds. Liberator keep the ball, but good cut in. But you got to make that layup.
Young's looking to save it, and he spikes it into the ground. No one in sight.
And Bolivar coming out, shooting a lot of three-pointers, missing most of them. If they get a couple of these to fall, they got a good chance to get ahead of Nixa quickly here.
It's Flint to bring it up, and he finds Meltebarger. Meltebarger looking for Hines. Hines driving baseline, pull up, fade away. Jay will go.
Comes up strong on the pull-up jumper right there. Not a good chance of you blocking that shot. Garrett Hines, great shooter.
The Eagles applying some pressure there as it's off the hands of Peters, and now we're going to see Wyatt Vincent check into the game for Garrett Hines.
And this press is how the Eagles generated a lot of points last year. Get quick turnovers on Bolivar's side of the court.
We'll see Fisher, pass taken away there by Peters. Shot is blocked. It'll stay with the Eagles.
Right there, right after I said it, Eagles get a quick turnover and a chance to put points up. Good block, however. Make sure Peters can't put a layup.
Pass it in is going to be Flint, as I should say Kevon Flint, the older of the two brothers. And Meltebarger will find an easy two. And Vincent playing some very aggressive defense there.
And you can have everybody back if you're Bolivar right now. No one needs to cross half court till the ball does. Right now, you need to have people back for an option to get a pass out to, because when the Eagles get a trap like that, when you try and throw a pass out, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a turnover and a quick layup on the other end. You got to have options to go to. So you need people down on your end of the court to get some options out to pass the ball.
We're going to see Bryce Foster check in for McKnight. Here's Casey, guarded by Vincent. Now Fisher, Durham, Padkey hesitates. It's a drive, spin move, fade away, blocked there by Peters and Kevon. Flint goes all the way, and it's off the glass.
And that whole drive started when he tried to pump fake and go to the side. He went to the side where Peters already was. If he pumps and goes left, that's a wide open lane. I'm not really sure why he went right
Falling
side.
to the ground is Durham, and Flint's diving on the ball. picked up there by Padkey, finds Durham, goes up with it over Foster's head for 2 and a very chaotic 2. Now Vincent look inside, Meltebarger fouled there by Durham.
Started off calm at the beginning of this game, but it's getting chaotic fast, and I love it. This is the type of basketball that's fun to watch.
And it looks like it's going to be an off-ball foul.
Player control foul on Nixa, number 5, Lane Meltebarger. His first personal, 13 foul.
Here's Fisher now gets to Padkey. Padkey, Durham, back to Fisher. Fisher looks up, Young. Pump fake drives, kicks it out. Padkey for 3, won't go. Rebound, Vincent. Now Vincent's pushing up court fast, and he loses control but finds Meltebarger. Peters open for 3, no good. Rebound, Durham.
Bolivar starting this game matching the intensity of Nixa. Not a lot of teams have been able to do that in the recent history of this Eagles team, so a great start for Bolivar.
There's Fisher, pull-up jumper, will not go. Rebound, Peters. Peters pushing it up court. Post up, kicks it out. Meltebarger for 3, and it's good.
Unless his name's Jackson Cantwell, you need to have a man on everyone for this Eagles team. Be able to get a hand up, because right there, leaving the lane wide open. 10-point game. What started as a great start for Bolivar. Nixa is starting to knock down their shots. When they get hot, they get red hot.
Timeout, Liberators. It's 18-8. We'll be back after this short break, brought to you by Central Gas and Propane. And we are back after that break, brought to you by Night Heating and Air. The Eagles come out into a press, and Young looking for anybody at all. Meltebarger looking like a safety there, taking that one away. And here's Vincent, kicks it out. Foster hesitate, drives in, floater off the glass, no good. Fighting for the rebound there is going to be Jason Wilkinson. Casey pushing it up, gives it to Young. Young to Padkey. Here's Wilkinson. Back to Casey. Now Young in the corner, guarded by Meltebarger, driving through the lane. Looks inside for Wilkinson. Now fighting for it is Flint, taken away there by Vincent. Vincent finds Flint driving baseline. That's to be a blocking foul called there on Padkey. As Randy Flint kind of gives a iffy look on his face there.
One thing with this Bolivar offense right now is they're running, just all on the perimeter. There's no one inside, but there are no cuts to the inside of the basket, so it's very easy for Nixa to defend it. Generate more opportunities for this defense to collapse. You got to make cuts inside. And they're slowly backing in, which works, but if you want to be more effective, they need to get more cuts inside, backdoor to get some chances.
And Vincent throws that one off the bottom of the backboard. The little.
Also something that is a first couple of game type thing. The Eagles were very, very good about making cross-court passes. That's one thing that they were specialized in all of last season.
But it looks like it hit off the hand of one of the Liberators.
I thought it went off the backboard.
I think it hit off the hand first, though.
I might be crazy.
And traveling there by Randy Flint. It was one too many steps before you put it on the ground.
Second travel in that same instance from almost like the exact same spot on the floor.
And the Eagles bring out the press trap here, looking for Durham. Gets it off as Young. There's Young now, the senior guard bringing it up. Going to drive on Vincent. Hands it off Casey. Casey to Durham. Now Young. Young up top. Deep three-pointer coming from Casey off the back iron. No good. Tips it up. Is Durham no good? Somehow Young comes out with the rebound. He drives baseline. Gets it to roll in. Damian Young.
And those second chance points are absolutely crucial in big-time games. Good job.
And Flint soars through the air to lay it off the glass for 2.
It's really hard to get a word in with how fast this Eagles team plays. I got like a split second, not even a whole second.
Pull-up jumper there by Durham, no good. Rebound Vincent, and Flint loses control of the ball, but keeps it alive without stepping out of bounds. Here's Kevon Flint now. 17 seconds. Blancett calling for the last shot. As the Eagles had their good amount of buzzer beaters last year. And Flint guarded tightly at the timeline. He starts driving in. Step back. Fade, no good. Rebound. Randy Flint. Foul's going to be called there on Damian Young, and that's going to put the Eagles in the bonus. I believe it should. That's 5.
Is it reset every quarter or is it by half?
It resets every quarter, and it should be 2 shots. So the new rule is it's going to be reset team fouls every quarter, and it's an automatic 2 shots. So everybody's in the double bonus once you hit the bonus. So it's no more 1-on-1 in Missouri high school basketball.
That's really interesting. Also really weird.
I saw the rule go into effect first time last night at the Central Link game, and Randy Flint misses his first free throw.
I didn't see the score of that game. How was that game, actually?
It started off really well, and then Link had, of course, every nationally ranked player there ever was, and they ran away with it.
Yeah, that's how I was going to go.
Props to Coach Epps. That bucket is good there by Flint, and it's hurled down court. Oh, my goodness, it almost goes in there, Young. And after 1, it's 21-10. The Eagles lead. We'll be back after this short break. And we are back after 1. It's 21-10, and we're going to see Devin Kemp make his first appearance this year in a Eagles uniform. And we're going to see Casey now at the top of the key. Swings it around. Here's Graves. Gets the pad key. Now back to Casey. Looking inside, tipped away there by Jackson Cantwell, but finds the hands of Casey one more time. Now Drake Durham in the corner, guarded by the freshman McKnight. Driving the paint, looking for Casey, fading away. No good off the back iron. Rebound McKnight. And here's going to be the Eagles' true number 1 this year, Devin Kemp. There's McKnight, top of the key, hesitates. Padkey gets in his face. Looks inside, Cantwell off the glass, and it's good.
Yeah, you ain't blocking that, but I'm kind of... McKnight had the space. He should have pulled that one. I mean, he's a freshman, first varsity minutes.
Once you hesitate, it's over after that.
He who hesitates is dead. Sorry, that's a thing my dad has told me about all of my life, so I had to say it.
Here's Drake Durham at the wing, gets it over. Damian Young kicks it out. Three-pointer from Graves is good.
Taking advantage with Cantwell being on the floor. Not a lot of... Cantwell isn't the most mobile guy on the basketball court. I mean, 6'8". A little hard to be that mobile on the floor.
Oh my goodness, Kemp gets him to fall, topped off. They're going to call a push on McKnight, and that was very questionable. But the Liberators are lucky you left one of the best shooters in this building wide open in Josh Peters. But that just shows how quick and shifty Kemp is, because I'm telling you right now, Damian Young is very athletic. And get someone like that to fall is impressive. Here's Padkey in the corner. Now Young. Kemp over pursuits. Pull-up jumper is no good off the front iron.
The Eagles doing a very good job recovering if they over-pursue on a ball or maybe miss a steal. Doing a great job recovering to make sure there aren't any open chances.
Free throw line jumper, no good.
Hiccup there or something?
Yeah, I had a little hiccup. Here's Durham getting pressed up there by Kemp. That pass one was taken away by McKnight. Driving through the lane is Young, and he gets over to the fingertips of Josh Peters. And Hines gets it to McKnight in the corner there. Kemp, his first shot this year, no good. Rebound by Young. There's 3 Liberators there to 1 Eagle. In the corner, Durham gets it up top. Graves. Traveling violation. That's going to be on Gardner Casey.
5:23 left to go in the second. Liberators only down 8. It feels like they are only down like 2 or 4. This game has felt close. I don't know if that's just me.
McKnight, that pass gets picked. Sorry. I'm trying to get back in the groove of this. And three-pointer no good as he had a hand in his face there as Durham is tightly guarded. Young driving through the lane, gets it over the hands of Cantwell but won't go off the glass. Here's Hines looking inside. Reverse lay is Devin Kemp.
And that right there is where the Eagles exceed among most of the teams in the state. Their transition offense is second to none, really, in the Southwest area.
Padkey pull-up jumper will fall. It's 25-17, 4:32 left here in period number 2. Looks inside, McKnight in the corner. Hines' three-pointer will not go. Rebound there by Peters. Finds Cantwell, and Cantwell one-hand slam, and the hoop is still shaking. Timeout, Liberators, and that's a big momentum swing there coming from the 6'8 sophomore.
I mean, you give him any open space, he's going to try and throw it down. That one with authority.
And
a one-hand slam.
He really doesn't have to jump that much. He just sticks up his arm and
maybe does a little bit of a calf raise to get up there.
27-17 Eagles lead. And this Eagles team has been moving up and down the court real fast. I'd like to say this timeout is brought to you by Night Heating and Air. So I got a stern look there from our technical producer, Jordan Burns.
Oh, the amount of times you got yelled at for sponsorships last year.
He's still giving me the look. The Eagles are going to send Meltebarger in the game, who saw very little minutes, if any minutes at all. And I believe the only minutes he saw was in the championship game of the Blue and Gold against Rogersville. As the Eagles dominated that game. Here's Drake Durham, swings it around Padkey. Coming off the screen there is Fisher. Graves hands it off. Now Durham looks inside for Graves. Pass tip there by Meltebarger. Now Fisher. Durham in the corner. Top of the key, Fisher. Looking for the cutter. Pass tip there by Peters. Somehow finds Durham wide open as Padkey tips that one. Great play there.
An absolute gift for him, a free layup.
And that's
right
taken away, but a foul's going to be called there as McKnight was hacked pretty hard.
Foul on Bolivar number 10, Matthew Giglio, his first personal, first team foul. Number 1, Jason Wilkinson, checking in for Bolivar.
Meltebarger looks for Peters, and he throws that into the Liberators bench.
I mean, when you're playing a team like Nixa, the only thing you really can do is just try and match their intensity. And Bolivar's doing a pretty good job of it so far. They haven't got most of their shots to fall for them, but they've been able to match Nixa's intensity for the most part in this game. That's
the one thing Coach Hoy said is we got to match this team's intensity. That's going to be a backcourt violation. He's like, if we're going to want to compete, we're going to have to stay playing fast. He's like, this is one of the fastest teams we'll see all year. I mean, I believe they're Class 4. This is one of the fastest teams we'll see. We have to keep up with them and keep the pace going.
Well, not really anything you can do on defense or offense for that matter with a quick team like this.
And McKnight soars through the air and grabs it, and one, Adam McKnight. And he used his receiver skills there, jumped up Randy Moss and puts it off the backboard.
And what is he, 6'3" for a freshman?
Probably 6'4".
6'3", 6'4", definitely not a small fella down there, and he was able to, great job down low. You know, we always say that, like, Nixa has normally always been, like, a very undersized team, but when you look on the floor right now with Lane, Josh, Adam, Garrett, and Devin. I mean, Devin's the smallest guy out there, but other than that, all of them, those guys, like, 6'3", 6'4".
It's just crazy to think about, like, 6'3" and 6'4" goes as a guard now. Kicks out Graves' three-pointer. Excuse me, Casey's three-pointer, no good. It's going to stay with the Liberators. So you got to think about it. The tallest guy on the state finalist Eagles team was probably Colton Berry at 6'6", but like we said, the team really wasn't that big. I mean, their next big man up was 6'4" Jarrett Nelson.
He was only 6'6", but Colton Berry was a monster down low. He was fun to watch.
We're going to see 4 new Eagles come in, and it's going to be the Flint brothers, Wyatt Vincent, Bryce Foster, and then staying on the court will be Josh Peters, and Flint has to fight for that one. Randy Flint bringing it up, the younger of the two brothers. Finds Vincent, and Vincent's three-pointer won't go. Rebound, Randy Flint back into the corner. We're going to see Peters take over the 5 role. You don't get to see that much.
No, other than Peters. He's what do you got? You got 1 senior, 2 juniors, a sophomore, and a freshman.
Another timeout Eagles. I thought they were going to call another traveling violation there on Vincent as he kind of started his feet before he took off. 29-19 is your score. We'll be back after this short break. Brought to you by Night Heating and Air.
Coffee.
2:25 left here in period number 2. And 29-19, your Nixa Eagles lead. Gets it in. Here is Flint. Of course, Randy Flint. Now Wyatt Vincent. Vincent looks across, finds Foster in the corner. Kevon Flint gets it to his younger brother. There's Randy Flint hopping through the lane. Peters gets a man to jump, pull-up jumper. Will go.
And he's so smooth with it. Doesn't even look like he's putting 100% effort in out there. It's just so smooth by Josh Peters on the pump fake.
Three-pointer from Graves won't go. Looking to go coast to coast is Randy Flint off the glass, but a foul is going to be called.
You know, this team in transition is going to make a lot of highlight plays this year. I mean, you look on the floor right now. Josh Peters has made a highlight reel slam in the NIT.
Randy Flint was throwing it down last year as a freshman in JV games. I mean, Adam McKnight almost had a putback dunk. And I guarantee you Kevon can get up there too. I mean, an exciting athlete. Vincent's been able to dunk since 8th grade, but we haven't really seen him in the paint much. And Bryce Foster, one of the shiftiest players out there. Second free throw will go. Eagles extend their lead by 13.
Whoever's making live videos is going to have a lot to work with.
And shot is blocked, but foul's going to be called there on Kevon Flint for jumping into him.
Foul on Nixa, number 2, Kevin Flint. His first personal, second team foul. Trenton Mackey at the
I will say, when both teams play this fast, every foul looks violent. I mean, that fall right there from Flint, a little scary right there as he was about to came down a little funky. Anytime I see a guy go down and only one leg hits the floor first and he's a little sideways, I get flashbacks as a Bulls fan to a Derrick Rose ACL tear.
Yeah, it's always scary taking a hard fall like that. Minute 48 left, 32-20. Second free throw will go. We're going to see Kevon Flint bring the ball up. Free throw line jumper will roll in, and Flint has 6 points on the night. And the Liberators look to move fast, but gets poked away, and they're going to call a foul there on Flint.
foul on Nixa, number 2, Kevin Flint. His second personal,
Kevin Flint. That's a new one. I always hear
Everywhere we go, it's Kevin. I always say Kevin, not
Kevin
Kevon.
or Kevion. You're Kevion a lot too. There's Padkey guarded tightly there by Peters. Now Durham. Here's Fisher. Pass gets off. Rainey. A minute 07 left. Dribble picked up there by Casey, driving through the lane. Loses control of the basketball is Padkey, and he somehow puts it up, but can't finish. And now Vincent is on a fast break. Fadeaway jumper will fall.
Pretty fadeaway jumper. That's not an easy shot to make, going that fast, going into the side or into the baseline. Great jump shot.
And he's always going full speed.
I don't think that there was a time there wasn't.
The pass will go out of bounds with 35.5 seconds left.
Great defensive awareness right there. Only saw the Bolivar guy look on the left side, or his right or left, for about a split second, but was able to make the read and get a hand on it and force a turnover. Great play.
Here's Randy Flint to bring it up. Now Kevon Flint hands it off. Vincent. Vincent to Foster. Foster's three-pointer rolls in and out. Fighting for the rebound is Peters, but he'll step out of bounds. It'll be Liberators basketball with 19.8 seconds left.
checking in the ball.
19.8. I'm assuming they're going to elect for the last shot here.
Here's Gardner Casey with it. Kicks in the corner, Rainey. Hands it off. Durham with 3 seconds left. No good. Rebound Flint, and he won't be able to get anything off. Going into halftime, it's 36-21. Kind of choppy start, I would say, for the Eagles, but they still got something going there.
Yeah, we're still able to get a bunch of points up on the board. And Bolivar, a couple questions on offense and things that they're needing to fix. Saw a couple things in their game, like I could have counted 4 or 5 plays where 2 guys tried to make a cut and went to the same spot. And as I've been told many times as I used to play basketball, when 2 guys are in the same spot, it's really easy for defenses to guard you.
I'd like to give a quick shout out to all of our sponsors. First off, it's going to be Central Gas and Propane. Wise Guys Screen Printing. They're our official sponsor of Beyond the Arc. Hitting a three-pointer is brought to you by Wise Guys Screen Printing. Of course, Scooter's Coffee. Scoot on around for amazing people, amazing drinks, and amazingly fast service. Also, if you have not subscribed to our Nixa Athletic updates on the Nixa Schools app, please do now, as you can download that app on the App Store. It's the Nixa Public Schools app. Also, Alex Sine does a phenomenal job at updating every Nixa Athletics event, so check that out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. One more time, that's Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Nixa Athletics. We'll be back after this short break, brought to you by Central Gas and Propane. And we are back here in Willard, Missouri, at Willard High School in Willard Gymnasium. It's the Nixa Eagles taking on the Liberators here in round one of the Willard basketball tournament. And it has been a kind of an iffy game, I feel like. It's been a very quick game.
Very quick. It felt like we started 5 minutes ago, and here we are with 2:25 till halftime's over. Yeah, it's gone by a little quick.
And the Eagles have been pressing the Liberators all night long, but it really hasn't seemed to faze them that much. They've gotten the ball up court pretty well, but there has been some times where that Eagles pressure has been a little too much.
I mean, yeah, but really the big story of this game is just the fact that Nix's offense has been able to they just got more chances and been able to get more effective offense going, because Bolivar, they've had a lot of offensive drives where they've just ended in turnovers or just a forced shot that they had to take because there was just nothing going. I mean, I could have counted 4 or 5 separate plays in that first half where Bolivar had two guys that were trying to cut and they go to the same spot. And it's really hard to run an offense when you got 2 guys in the same spot. I mean, there's just no movement inside the paint when they're trying to go all outside. When they do, this Nixa team's right there ready to move with them. With a team that's as fast as Nixa, you got to move until they make a mistake. You can't just sit and wait and just make simple down screens because they're going to be able to react to that, and you're not going to get a lot of chances up. You got to find a way to get a guy open, and if that's setting multiple screens on the same guy, trying to get more chances for mistakes, that's what you have to do. But, I mean, right now, they looked good for a little bit. There were a couple of periods where they looked good, but then it just hit a wall.
Yeah, and the Eagles, I mean, my bad. If the Liberators want to stay in this game, they have to make an impact early because they're down by 15 and this Eagles team gets up 4 or 5 more points. It's long gone with how fast this team plays.
And
I mean, every guy on this squad is going to be able to get up and down the court fast. Maybe not Cantwell, but he's still very athletic, and if you get him in the paint, he's scary.
Yeah, and one thing, though, this Bolivar team has to look out for is everyone remembers last year, the third quarter Nixa Eagles were a little bit too much at times, and by a little bit too much, I mean they were dominant in every single third quarter they played in. I don't think they were ever outscored once in the third quarter.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know what happened. I don't know if Coach Blancett gave him some of, like, Mike's special stuff in the locker room, or I don't know, maybe it was Blancett's special stuff. I don't really know what he was giving them in the locker room, but something would just kick and they'd be like, oh, guys, we're good at basketball, and they would just run away with it.
They turn a 4 or 5 point game into a 20-point game in a quarter.
And, of course, we are also going to see another junior who hasn't get to dress out tonight due to health issues is going to be Jace Combs, the younger brother of Cale Combs, and the 4th brother to come through this Eagles program. You had Jalen, Braden, and Cale. Now you see the youngest, Jace Combs. And if you happen to watch the Stay the Course documentary, you'll look and see that his dad said, you know, Cale, Braden, and Jalen were great players, but Jace is the best shooter out of all of them. And Jace has knockdown range. I'm not going to lie. You get him in the corner, literally about anywhere, he's not missing.
He's got the effect of the second he crosses the half-court line, you need a guy up on him in his face at all times.
He has that big high-arcing shot where Cale had that short, flat shot. I mean, polar opposites. Peters open, the top of the key, rolls in and out. Now Casey. Back to Casey, but was Young. Guarded there by Kemp, hands it off Durham. Back to Durham, guarded by Kemp. Three-pointer from Casey will not go. Now Kemp pushing it up court. Finds Hines in the corner. Back out Kemp. There's McKnight at the top of the key. He pulls it for 3, no good. McKnight fighting for the rebound is Devin Kemp. Posted up there at the high key. Fade away, Jay Jackson Cantwell.
And, you know, even dating way back to the Liberty North tournament, last year we have seen Jackson Cantwell work on that shot, especially when they were in Staley's gym, finally paying off a little bit.
And a little tit-throw action by Cantwell, and he bodies Damian Young there. You have about 5'8" Damian Young going up against 6'8", 300-pound Jackson Cantwell.
If Cantwell got a hand on that, you would have had to fix the hole in the floor. That would have come down with authority.
I mean, just polar opposites right there. Have you seen the picture of Jose Altuve and Aaron Judge? That's what I'm thinking about when I see Jackson Cantwell and Damian Young stand next to each other.
Yeah, that's a really accurate description of that. Or, what's his name? He played for the Hornets. There was a picture of him
Isaiah Thomas.
It
was a short guy.
He was a real short guy, and he was standing next to Yao. It was a picture of him next to Yao Ming or
I
something.
think it was Isaiah Thomas.
Oh, it was so funny. That's the best way I can describe that.
And Damian Young's 4th personal foul here in period number 3. Not a good look coming from the senior guard, who's the majority of the offense. McKnight stumbles there, but gets his feeding. We're going to see Peters at the top of the key. Poked free there by Casey. Back is Kemp driving through the lane, finds Peters in the corner for 3, and ball does not lie. I don't believe that was a charge.
I didn't think it was either. But one thing I've been noticing is Bolivar, when Cantwell's on the court, the guy that is guarding Cantwell, if he has a chance to try and get a 2-on-1 or a trap and get a quick turnover, they're trying to take that chance. And I get it with Cantwell out on the perimeter. Not really big of a threat of a 3-point shooter, but I don't want a full head of steam Jackson Cantwell going into my paint.
Well, the thing is, you have someone there. You have someone quick enough who can get back in the paint, though, if Cantwell is to get the ball at the top of the key and drive in.
Yeah.
And taken away there by Peters. They're going to call a jump ball, and it's going to stay with the Liberators.
Yeah, but sure you have a guy to get back, but if Cantwell's moving full speed in the paint, I don't think anyone in this Bolivar team's going to be able to stop him.
No one wants to stop him, I don't think.
If he's going full speed, I'm just going to get out the way. I might throw my jersey on the ground and be like, here you go.
Here's Casey now. Taken away there by Kemp. Kemp moving fast up court. Gives to McKnight, looks inside. Fading away is Jackson Cantwell.
And that's 10 for Cantwell.
And he's having himself a night so far. Career high, 10 points. And jumping the pass there is Kemp as he bumps into Fisher, but he gets a job well done from Coach Blansett.
That's the second of the night. One more, and he probably, third quarter, 3 fouls. I don't know how Blancett's going to want to play that. Coaches are different. Some keep him in, some don't. Be interesting to see how Blansett plays that for him. And, hold on. I'm crazy.
What were you about to say there?
I'm just forgetting that.
They're going to call offensive foul there.
Adam McKnight also has 2 fouls. Sorry.
They're going to call offensive foul there on Canton Fisher as he lowered his shoulder and tried to get Kemp off of his body. 5:35 left, and Kemp's guarded tightly by Fisher in the backcourt. Here's Peters. Gets to McKnight. Looks for Hines. Top of the key, Cantwell. Inside, fade away, Jay, no good. Rebound, Peters. Can't roll up, and he gets his own rebound, and he's getting hacked hard. He was getting hacked pretty hard in the paint.
Yeah, he was. And that's, I said earlier in the pregame show, but Josh Peters really came in his own and was able to get a lot of good boards for this Eagles team, especially come district tournament time. And another example of it right there. Great job by Peters to get multiple opportunities. Oh, I thought he was about to throw an oop. Nice layup, but I thought he was about to throw that down with authority. I got excited, almost jumped out of my seat.
Josh Peters off the glass for 2, and in the corner here is going to be Durham, guarded by Cantwell. He's trying to back him down. Step through, will not go. Rebound, McKnight. He snags that with one hand, and he's pushing it fast up court. Going to go coast to coast, steps out, gives it to Cantwell. Here's Devin Kemp for 3, no good. Rebound, McKnight off the glass, no good. One more time, he'll be fouled in the air, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. So he just couldn't finish there as he was tipping it up and down.
A lot of fouls already. Almost said penalties. I'm still not completely out of football apparently yet, but 4 for Bolivar and 3 for Nixa. There was, I think, 9 in the first quarter and 7 already. Not even halfway through the third.
And timeout, Liberators. I don't know how many timeouts they've called because it's not up on the scoreboard. I just realized that.
I don't know. Well, how much do you get at the start? I know
you get 5.
That's what I thought it was.
You get 5 all game.
7.
I believe they've called 3, and Nixa hasn't called 1.
Nixa's called 1.
So it's going to be 4 timeouts with 2 timeouts.
I thought that this was the second Bolivar timeout. I might be
called. I feel like they called quite a few. 42-22, the Eagles up by 20. It's all smiles down there from the Eagles bench and coaching staff. Even got a big one on Nixa superfan Evan Lawler. Free throw coming here from McKnight. Will go.
And I like the move of Blanza of having Cantwell already back past half court in case Bolivar gets a quick rebound in transition. I mean, Cantwell's not going to be able to keep up the whole way down the court. He'll be a little late getting back. So I like the idea of already putting him back there so you don't have to worry about it.
I think if there's two guys on the court who are smaller who's going to grab that rebound, it will be Adam McKnight and Josh Peters. And we say smaller like they're not 6'4".
He's got a lot of flexibility at that spot for Blanchett. Has a bunch of guys who can get rebounds even at the guard spot.
Casey's driving, kicks it out one more time. Three-pointer, Fisher, no good in the hands of Casey. His free-pointer from the key, no good, tipped out there. And here's McKnight. Floater way too far, kept alive there by Peters. One more time, McKnight in the paint, fade away, also no good, rebound. Cantwell fading away, no good. The Eagles cannot convert on their second chance opportunities.
A lot of fadeaways. Cantwell, you're 6'8". Go up with that. You don't need a fadeaway on that one. Go up with it.
It's going to be a foul called there on Jackson Cantwell, his second.
Well, the one thing with Cantwell you got to be careful with is just because of your sheer size, it is going to be really easy for teams to be able to sell fouls. I mean, if Josh runs into you and then tries to sell it, he may not go a team's way or may not. But with Cantwell, if they sell a little bit, it's going to be called a foul every time. So Cantwell's got to be careful, especially down low, of not drawing too many fouls.
You think they'd get Cantwell a new jersey made? Because Jordan Tyler wore number 4 last year.
I'm not going to lie. Watching Cantwell wear number 4 is a little weird.
It is a little weird.
I was expecting him to wear like a 35 or like a...
I thought he was going to stick with 44, but 4, looks kind of cool, especially on his size. It's such a small number for such a big body.
Bringing back the fear on a football field. If you see a defensive lineman with a single-digit number, you know your night's over.
And McKnight dribbles that one off his foot, but keeps control of it, and Peters brings it back out, gets it to Cantwell one more time. Three-pointer from McKnight won't go off the front iron.
You got to be careful with when you choose which guy you choose to come off to try and guard Cantwell in a 2-on-1. Pick the wrong guy, it's going to be a long night, especially if it's Peters or Hines.
And Campbell throws that one to the backcourt. It should be a backcourt no. Okay, it is going to be a backcourt violation. They didn't call it at first.
So now we're
going to see 5 new Eagles check in. I see the Flint brothers, Foster, Meltebarger, and Vincent.
So we have, 2 juniors?
4 juniors.
4 juniors and
1
a sophomore. Forgot Lane was... For some reason, I thought it was a senior for a quick second. I got really confused.
Here's Foster. Gets a Meltebarger, now Flint. Vincent now. Kicks it out. One more time, Meltebarger hesitates, drives in the lane. Fadeaway jumper off the glass. Will fall. Meltebarger sees himself with 7 points tonight. Here's Wilkinson. Over to Campbell. Now Fisher throws it out of bounds, but it's going to be off the hands of Randy Flint.
I will say, I don't think the scoring for this Eagles team is going to be all over the place all season. You'll have nights where guys like Lane are going to be putting up 7, and Devin or Josh are going to be putting up like 5 or 6. And then nights where some of those guys are putting up 20. I think its scoring is going to be all over the place, and there could be a team-leading score different every night.
Foul's going to be called there on Kevon Flint, and I do agree. I mean, all 11 guys can score.
And right now,
I think it might be 12.
Right now, your leading scorer is Jackson Cantwell with 10, if I'm not mistaken. I know he's off the scoreboard. I didn't think he got another bucket, so I think he has 10 right now. But, I mean, right now, Lane's got 7. Flint's got 6.
And it's been kind of a lower scoring game because, I mean, really no one for the Eagles has been there to get hot because it's just been in and out with how many guys you have, and it's good to keep them fresh. And fighting for the rebound there is Durham, and he gets it to Young. Young hops through the lane, puts it up. Foul will be called.
Great job hop stepping in the lane. Great move. Drew the foul. Currently with 7 on the night.
Number 5, Wayne Meltebarger, his second
Or it's actually going to be called on Meltebarger. Did I say it was called on Meltebarger?
I don't remember.
I'm lost.
I don't remember.
Maybe, yeah, it was called on Meltebarger.
Man, we're struggling. I guess the first game. Basketball teams have their ups and downs at the beginning of the season, so do the commentators.
Here's Flint pushing up court. Looks inside Meltebarger. Kicks out Kevon Flint from the top of the key. Decides to soar through the air. Foul's going to be called. He'll go to the line to shoot two as he hit the ground hard and he's struggling to get up. Not the best thing to happen to the Eagles right now. Hoping it's just the wind getting knocked out of him, and he gets up and he's laughing.
Yeah, that was that's a gnarly fall right there. He went up for it and he hesitated and drove in. I got a little nervous, and right there when he flipped over to his back, I was just praying that he wasn't going to tear an ACL or break anything.
Well, it's always good when you get up and you have a smile on your face.
Mm-hmm.
Kevon Flint at a line. He has 6 points tonight.
The sound of him hitting the floor echoed throughout the gym. I mean, I heard it through my headset. It was a loud thud.
He converts on the first one and fires away. Free throw number 2 will go in as he hit the ground hard but still finds a way to convert on both of them. Young pushing out the sideline. The Eagles bring out a trap looking across court. Let's control the ball there, kicking out. There's Fisher for 3, no good, fighting for the rebound. It's going to be Durham. He has a shocked look on his face. The Eagles sold that one pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, right there on that play where an open guy in the corner, 2 guys, it was just a 2-on-1, had a chance to drove in. Kind of hesitated on making the pass to the corner. That's kind of been a little bit of the story for this Bolivar team, is that they have hesitated a lot, and they just haven't been able to put up the chances they want to.
And fade away from Meltebarger, and it will roll in.
Wait a minute, but
as the trap, the double team doesn't really work out in the Liberators' favor as Meltebarger was left wide open on the block. Driving here's Fisher, kicks out in the corner, 3-pointer. Wilkinson, no good. Rebound, Vincent. Vincent finds Meltebarger, puts it off the glass, no good. He gets his own rebound. Fading away, will roll in as Meltebarger becomes the leading scorer for the Eagles. They lead 52-24.
I don't think anyone was ready to hear those Meltebarger and Cantwell being the leading scorers on the night so far, as we're about a minute 4 left to go in the third quarter.
Randy Flint gets charged with his first personal and the 5th team foul with a minute 04 left here in quarter number 3. Now it's going to be the bonus, so 2 shots. It's very odd to say that.
Very weird, and it's going to be really interesting when it gets to close games and clutch time.
I was about to say that.
Those one-on-ones are normally what make or break a game, and now you get guaranteed 2 shots. That's going to change a lot of end-game scenarios.
Here's Foster at the logo. Looks inside Meltebarger. Foul's going to be called there. So Meltebarger to the line to shoot 2 as the foul was called on Jason Wilkinson. Meltebarger at the line with 54.7 seconds left here in period number 3. His first shot will roll in. And one thing we've seen develop throughout the past few years is the Eagles' free throw shooting. A couple years ago, it wasn't the best, and now it's worked out to be pretty well. As one of the best free throw shooters probably to come through Nixa now is Cale Combs shooting 71 from the line. That's something he's hugely improved on.
And I think as a whole, this team shot 70% from the line last season.
And it was probably a mere 40 from the line the year before. That pass is throwing out of bounds.
I mean, those free throws are normally what win games in that scenario.
70% on the dot.
Bang. I did my homework.
That was impressive. Passes it off. Meltebarger. It's 2 men to jump, and he lays it off the glass. 15 for Meltebarger.
Yeah, it was a 15-point game at the start of the half, and now it's a 30-point game.
Running in, foul's going to be called there. Going to line 2, shoot 2.
It's not even the fact that the Eagles' production has kicked up relatively that much. It's the fact that Bolivar has not scored. The defense for the Nixa Eagles has been spectacular to start this half.
First shot is good, coming from Young. Young having 4 fouls here, playing in the third. Kind of a risky move coming from Coach Hugh. Second free throw is also good.
And he's your best means of offense on the floor. You might as well keep him out there, especially with the deficit you're at.
Here's Flint to bring it up. Kevon Flint driving through the lane, soaring through the air and off the bottom of the rim. Great move there by Flint as time expires, falls up really short, and the Eagles start to run away with this one, 56-28.
Foster definitely got a hand on that one, though.
He did?
Yeah, he definitely did.
We'll be back after this short break. Brought to you by Night Heating and Cooling. And we are back as the Eagles start with the basketball here in period number 4. And charges taken there by Damian Young as it was a strong shove by Randy Flint.
He's sold it a little bit, slid for a long time. Give that man an Oscar. Didn't even look like that big of a shove off. It was.
Oh, I missed the Oscar comments. I'm glad they're back.
Still waiting to use the clip that I used in Carl Junction that you were completely shocked of me saying.
Oh, what a $1 million
move and a $2 finish.
Yeah, I've used that quite a few. Now Graves looking for Casey cutting back door and looks at Padkey. Padkey, shot blocked there by Foster. Cross court, Durham driving, puts it off the glass and will roll in. Foster, if you look at the scoreboard, he really hasn't made an impact yet, scoring no points, but his defensive presence has been there well, and I don't know what happened there.
I don't know either, but.
And there's Foster right as I say that for threes. He records his first varsity points, and I think he heard me.
I think he heard you just a little bit.
That three-pointer was brought to you by his Wise Guys Screen Printing.
You're going to be saying that a lot this year.
Taken away by Flint. He goes up and off the backboard and one, Kevon Flint.
You know, as a coach, I don't know how you don't get a little bit worried, especially if that fall he took early. When he goes up like that, I get a little nervous when he's up there.
I thought he was going to throw that down, to be honest.
I did too.
He had the hype.
He definitely had the hype.
I think he could have just went back. You know, it's the committing thing. Like, I could dunk if I just committed to it. Like,
yeah,
if I got out there and I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to do it.
Totally.
But
if the goal was 8 foot, maybe. I'm messing with you, Brad.
No, you're not wrong, though. And here's Flint at the line as he scores 10.
Can you touch rim on 10 foot?
I probably could. Come close. I think I could. Maybe get a fingertip
I can touch
on
it. I can't grab it, but I can touch it.
Here's Young. Hop step. Gets Kemp jumping in the air. Driving through. No good rebound there by McKnight. Not fade. The floater And the second opportunity will fall in from McKnight.
Got a gift. It bounced right back to him.
Cross-court pass. One more time with the cross-court pass. Looks inside. Here's Young in the corner for three. The left-handed shot will go. Now Kemp to Peters. Now McKnight. Here's Flint driving baseline. Foul will be called. He'll go to the line to shoot two. As Bolivar's getting their feet step, it's just a little too late. Once Flint leaves his feet, it's turning into a blocking foul as you take out his legs.
Sorry to pull up the calculator real quick because Young right now with 48% of the points for Bolivar right now. That's half. I'm just going to call it half. Close enough.
Yeah, right about there. They have one more point. Now pushing up court is Durham.
Actually, 24 on the points right now for just two guys on the floor right now. That'd be Damian Young and Drake Durham.
And Young drives in. He'll be fouled. And here's his opportunity to make it half the points.
On Nixa, number 2, Kevin Flint, his fourth personal, second team foul.
Kevon Flint's fourth personal. It's a Willard PA announcer would like to say Kevin Flint. Young at the line. First free throw will fall.
You know, I have learned of just doing this. Every time there was a Kevon, or I just made that mistake, a Kevon. I don't know, because I was thinking about what the guy was saying. Anyways, when there's a Kevon on our team, unless the guy comes up and asks me, they always say Kevon or Kevin. Every time, without fail.
Second one was good, and now Young has more than half of their points.
I wonder how many times it happens as like a sub comes into your class. How many times you get if someone gets his name wrong?
I always hear Kevon when I'm in class with him. It's funny.
I would know because I get my name wrong all the time as well.
No good, and it's going to be foul called there on Durham. And checking into the game will be Jackson Cantwell and then the senior Kevon Lewis. As Kevon Lewis is kind of a sharpshooter. I'm not going to lie. I see him just shooting around, and he really doesn't miss.
I'm excited to see Kevon Lewis and how he plays this team. It's been a long time since he's played basketball. I'm excited to see how he looks from the floor.
Been an Eagles running back for the past 2 years. If you look at him, kind of like Jerome Bettis, the bus.
Yeah, I do not want to tackle Kevon Lewis on the football field.
Pull-up jumper from Peters, no good. Fighting for the rebound is Lewis. Finds the hands of Peters one more time, no good.
Tip drill.
And tipping up through the air, keeping it alive off the face of Casey. They're going to give it to, I can't stop laughing off of, they're going to give it to the Liberators.
Peters has been watching a little bit of Dennis Rodman highlights. Tip, 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 tip. Dive for the ball.
Chaotic there. It's 3:39 left to play. Casey now to Young. 64-35 is your score. The Eagles lead by 29, the largest margin. Here's Casey, hands it off. Young driving through the lane. Falls backwards, running Lewis. Rebound there by Foster. Now Foster's pushing up court. Looks the corner, Vincent. Vincent to Kemp.
Took way too long
Kemp
to pass that ball.
to Foster for three. Boom!
It eventually worked out, but that ball should have been in Devin Kemp's hands a long time before that.
Three-pointer will fall, and that's Wise Guy screen printing. Three-pointer taken away there by Foster. Keeps it alive, looking for Kemp. Flying down the court, but finds the hands of Durham. Fade away, floater will go. And here's Cantwell in the lane, and he just lays it up there. Young is probably thanking Cantwell for not putting all 6'8" and 300 pounds on top of him.
The bench was so upset it wasn't a dunk. They all...
Three-pointer coming from Young, and it will fall. He has 21 tonight. Here's Lewis, gets it to Kemp. Kemp for three, will not go. going to stay with the Liberators.
And Nixa is going to keep pace for what they were hitting last year, averaging 70 points a game last year was the Eagles all last season, and with 69 already, they're about to get past that 70-point mark. Was there a game that the varsity team dropped close to 100? I thought there was. Maybe I'm
believe
crazy.
it was Oak Park.
I think so, because I
Park Hill.
I remember there was a
Excuse me.
game where we dropped a ton of points, and it felt like we were almost at 100.
97 against Willard.
That's why. Okay.
We had like 3 Caleb James missed three-pointers, I believe.
I remember that.
Three-pointer shot is away. No good. Rebound there by Vincent. He's pushing it up court. Lays it off the backboard. No good. Foster looks to tip it. He's getting fouled hard in the corner. Wing three-pointer coming from Vincent. No good. Fighting for the rebound is Kemp. There's Lewis. Backdoor cutting out the glass, and it will roll in. Kevon Lewis. First high school points. What a lay there.
And I will say, I remember about that 97-point Willard game. Is those 3 missed three-pointers. All I remember was Caleb just
having the biggest smile on his face all the time. He was loving it.
all in the Grinches. Went for the reverse ones 2 days ago. I lost.
And Lewis off the backboard and will fall in. And what a unselfish move there by Devin Kemp. But I give him full respect for that. Handing it off to a senior teammate to put it in for 2. Tipped off the hands of Kemp. And folks, stay tuned here after. We're going to have our player of the game, Lane Meltebarger, come on and have a word with us as he makes his first varsity appearance and has 15 points and made a big impact in this win against the Liberators. Tip there by Kemp, 28 seconds left, and it's safe to say the Eagles are going to come away with victory number 1, and Brock Blansett improves his coaching career record to 29-1.
Still undefeated in
The regular season. Three-pointer away, Fisher, and it's good.
I wonder how long a coach in the state of Missouri or high school, the entirety of the nation, but just the state of Missouri. We'll stick to Missouri. How long a coach has gone undefeated before getting his first loss in a regular season game?
You know, we'll have to do that math.
We'll have to do a lot of digging in the history books is what we're going to have to do.
73-43 is your score. We'll be back with our Central Gas and Propane player of the game, Lane Meltebarger, after this.
On Friday night,
And we are back with our Central Gas and Propane player of the game, Lane Meltebarger. Lane, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
I mean, you had a great game there, 15 points, and you saw your really first varsity action. You saw a minute in the blue and gold,
Yep.
but you played a big impact on this game. And, I mean, just what was kind of the plan going into this game?
Plan is just don't underestimate them. Just keep our head down, work hard. And shout out to my boy Kevon for giving me great passes tonight. And we got the W.
Now, you guys don't play till Friday. Do you know what you guys plan on doing with your off day?
We'll probably just have practice, probably have weights. Just get ready for Glendale or whoever we play.
So what do you guys know about this Glendale team and kind of just how are you guys prepping?
They're really athletic, and we just got to lock down on defense and just play our game.
So I'm going to hand it over to Ryan Swanson real quick. We only have 2 headsets, so I'm going to have to switch headsets here.
You good, Brett? Hey, good game, Lane.
Hey,
A couple
thank you.
questions I want to ask you. One of them was, what's something that you worked on during the offseason to really get better at, know you were going to get some varsity minutes? What's some stuff you worked on in the offseason?
Weight conditioning and ball handling, big time. And football really helps with basketball, so yeah.
Multi-sport athlete. One thing I also want to ask is a lot of guys on this team, first varsity minutes. How did it feel, most of you guys getting out there, getting your first full-time varsity minutes, some guys starting. How'd it feel getting out there on the floor?
Hey, it's a little nervous, but when you get a couple minutes in, you get locked in. So
Once that first shot goes in, it's just like everything goes away and you're back in it.
Yep.
All right, that's all I got for you, Lane. Hey, good game, man.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Lane, for giving us your time, and great job, Ryan. That headset's going to be very sweaty. I touched it, and it's kind of nasty.
I'm having about half of it on right now.
The Eagles come out with the first W of the season. It was a fun one. 73-43 was your final score. Ryan, you got anything?
I'm excited for the season.
So am I. The Eagles play the winner of, I'm going to get pulled up real quick.
I'm trying to remember. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Of Glendale Harrison. That'll be 5:30 tomorrow as the very hyped and fast-paced Glendale team will take down a more slower Harrison team. 73-43 was your final score. I'm Brady Reed alongside my partner,
Ryan Swanson.
signing off.